let's move to our other important concept of this chapter, that is time. So how time is measured, what is time exactly, what are the different devices that are used to measure time, we are going to understand in this further slides. So what is time exactly? That is how we are going to see a difference between one point of the time of a day to the another point of the day. So that is how we define the time. But we know that in ancient times, what people do is they doesn't have a proper device for measuring the time intervals from one point of a day to the next point of the day. So how they do is, what these ancient people or the people who are living in the ancient time did was, they used to see how the natural events repeat regularly after fixed interval of time, and on that basis they used to measure the time. That is how they do that. Like we can see the example for that, like the time between one sunrise to the next becomes the day. That is how they used to say that one day has passed. But if they need to calculate how the month has passed, in that case they see that the time from one full moon to the next full moon. So that is how they calculated the month. But for the year, what they did is, they have seen or noticed the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution. That is from one season, like from one summer to the next summer. So that is how the one revolution of the earth is completed. And that is how they said that one year has passed. So that is how they have they have noticed the repeated regular interval of the events, and in that cases on that basis they have measured the time. But nowadays what the major change has come is the different devices because of which we measure the time, right? So what are the different devices which are used to measure the time? Our clocks or watches, they give us the exact time, like what is right now, what time is that, like if it is like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., 3 p.m. What are the other devices that are used by the people to measure the time is pendulums, sundials, water clocks, sand clocks. So here the sundial basically work on the basis of shadows formed by the sun. Now the shadow, in which how the shadow is formed on the sundial, that shows what time it becomes. In sand clocks, what happens? They cover one time interval from when the sand passes from one of the beaker to the another of the beaker, or one part of the sand clock to the another part. And similarly, the water clocks also work, like how the water is traveling from one part of the vessel to the another part of the vessel. So that is how the time is calculated, by using these different devices which were not present in the ancient days. And in that time, the people used to just measure the time by seeing the repeated regular events, like what are the events going on from their day-to-day life. So that is how they used to calculate the time. But nowadays, these devices has came and made our life little bit easier to calculate the time.